So guys, I received a comment. Yes, one comment requesting normal audio. So this is the normal audio. Me talking about Bruce Rockwell, the chief medical officer who just arrived on TG station. Bruce got a virus. He's very sick. He's gonna die. Yeah, there wasn't much to him. Look, there's a demon. Ooh. There was one demon that looked like some rectal floss. Look at him. He clearly resembles that. Oh man, he's just watching two demons talk. And then he just dies with his virus. Yeah, I gave you this boring round to give you this bullshit ass audio. Sorry to everyone else. Yeah, I'm gonna go write a script for the rest of the video. Now that I've paid my ghostwriter a handsome $173, I have been provided with written words for your ears. In this tabloid, we will be exposing the wastelander known as Bob Barker for all the war crimes he committed on that weird Fallout server. His first atrocious act against humanity was stripping away the belongings of someone who had shut off their brain. With skills such as this, his career choices range from correctional officer to drug coma rapist. With riot shield in hand and blue scribbles pouring down upon him, he trekked through the Amazon rainforest of tomorrow. He then went into the excuse people in movies use to say their phone call disconnected. Inside the dingy tunnel was a man in a skirt, and Bob Barker had him cornered. This clearly is a serious situation, but it can become erotic at any second. Hey.
Hello?
Find anything good?
Not really here to mine, frankly.
Why are you here?
Just hiding out here. Unknown takes out gun. Phew, I'm not armed.
You like this gun I have?
Sure.
How much do you think it cost?
I have no idea. 30 caps?
Your life. He wound up shooting a person in the tunnel, like a Vietnam vet on a cave tour.
The fuck?
Sorry, the price is right.
I don't understand.
Listen.
What?
I want to lick your feet. I just don't know how.
You motherfucker. Let me the fuck out.
Fine, I will take them.
No, please. Wait. Stop.
Why?
Please. Come on. You can lick them. I'll let you do whatever you want.
Damn, that is gay.
I'll suck your dick.
Bob Barker ain't gay now. Since Bob Barker isn't gay, he canceled Tucker Carlson. Bob left his feet-licking appointment without contracting athlete's tongue, so therefore he was very disappointed that his taste buds were not covered in fungus. Later that day, Bob Barker joined a gang. Since he was just a raider in spirit, he could not join the gang on digital paper. His membership was all mental. This criminal alliance turned out to be a lousy duo between Bob Barker and this other old gentleman leading the way. They were not much of a gang. Nonetheless, these two planned on robbing people. An NCR trooper was their practice target, though shit got real when the other gunman opened fire. This 2-on-1 gunfight ended rather fast after a few choice bullet placements. Bob's partner in crime took all the soldiers' gear, but then gave Bob the money. Maybe now he can afford a bag with a money sign on it to show his rich status. While back at the scene of the best moment of Bob Barker's life, he was being hassled by another NCR trooper. He's politely asked to leave. Instead, he stayed. Bob stood his ground on their grounds with their rifle. The NCR soldier's only retaliation was throwing a sex contraption at him. He finished the deed by stabbing the groundskeeper with many slightly transparent knives. After killing someone, it is best to take their stuff because they won't be needing it. At first, his buddy did not recognize him due to the NCR uniform. The gang of raiders were finally robbing someone without gunning them down. This liberal approach would prove to be a mistake since the victim's backpack had an explosive trap in it. The old bomb in the pussy trick prevented his possessions from being violated. However, the unruly contestant could not escape Bob Barker. He took the runaway back to the base only to be betrayed by his former ally. Bob was caught off guard. All he could do was talk, and those words were not deflecting bullets. This is not some fantasy rap battle, it's actual street warfare. Bob Barker thought he was dead until he felt the needle from a stim pack, then someone pulling the stolen dog tags off his body. The person who saved his life was an NCR trooper. He had Bob at gunpoint and demanded that he take off the stolen uniform. Mr. Barker told the truth in his final hour by letting his last words be the couple of shots he fired. Our organization inside my head decided to send an American secret agent to a Russian space station. He can't speak any Russian, but he is one hell of a spy. Well, he failed this time due to his language deficiency. He hid this fact by claiming he had the English virus. It's similar to smallpox, just instead of dying, he merely talks stupid. At least the English-speaking robot voice on the radio reminded him of home.
Arrival shuttle docked with the NSS Exodus.
Any English mates?
Bill, Bella?
No.
This is when he started telling people about his American bronchitis disorder. I need to be tested. I have English. Eventually, our secret agent met another quarantined Englishman. What's cracking? I got English, so I am sick. You are English guy. You are an English guy too? Yes, a bit. Now, these two could be infected brothers, since the American man's seed has spread across the globe. Instead, Nico went to go annoy people by himself. Help! I got English! I'm gonna die from being fat! B, 6, P, flipped in. Weird R, E, weird R, O, M, O, really weird X, E, T. I got English! Stop screaming! Ah! Shut up! Scream! Then he had a brilliant idea. I know! I will beat the English out of me! That's not his tongue sticking out, it's blood. He also did not fall down because someone tagged him with the tomato. He was repeatedly punching his own Yankee mouth with emotions and text, not actual punches. His cover was blown when a KGB agent detained Nico Rock for self-assaulting. It's basically the same thing as self-harm, only it's done for good reason. Though, he was let go because the police figured if the man could beat himself up, then surely he can arrest himself when necessary. Later on, Nico found a courtyard room. This place allows you to be outside while inside. You can also hide behind the 2D perspective. This area has more hiding spots than a nice German family's attic. Turns out, all of them are tree related. Nico changed from stealth mode to attack mode. He executed the plan by using a crowbar to lift up floor tiles. The Russian mob was coming for him, so he put on a spacesuit and slowly stepped away. He wanted to take the getaway route out the window. Instead, he was forced to ride the garbage-filled lazy river. Next, he tried out one of those escape rooms. Before Nico could even attempt to leave, he was caught in a Soprano-style crash. In the darkness, some goons were born. Quinn Jackwright was one of those dark goons. He's now an underwater miner for Goon Station. During Quentin's first day on the job, he stepped on a mine. A very rookie mistake, but accidents do happen. He then teleported to a place of healing without the use of therapy drugs. His coworker patched him up, because as long as you have a med kit, then you can successfully perform a workplace surgery. On Quentin's second walking dive out the front door, he watched his path and made sure not to step on any mines. He used his pickaxe to dig upwards, or forward, depending on how you look at it. Digging deep into the ocean's depths, you'll run into sharks, and sometimes those sharks might have machine guns attached to their bodies. How they instinctively know how to use such a weapon is beyond me. All Quentin had to do for salvation was dig and run like meerkats. Well, maybe he's not running, but swimming instead. I can't tell. Either way, the prey got away for now. At least he lived to ask questions. So how do we fight these drone sharks? You don't! Ah, weak. No harpoon gun? Nope. After hearing that, Quentin knew he could easily slay the beast that's half mechanical and half nugget meat. In his search for Terminator Jaws, he stumbled upon some kind of ruined building. All he found was a bunch of loot boxes he could not afford to open. Back out in the wild, he was attacked by a fish that was surprisingly not toting a gun. You can't be lacking out here, even though Quentin totally was. He caught the shark while it was charging its power. It took a few seconds for SeaWorld's linebacker to fight back. But once it did, the underwater den started becoming a bloody cunt over this feud that had to end. Quentin was willing to die in order to eat seafood, because fatal allergies are for pussies. He didn't die though. That was the great white turret that jammed up it till death. It was a victory over wet nature for the anti-Aquaman that alone won him the entire game. Enter Connor Hunt. He is a janitor with a demonic horsefly hovering next to his head. The symbol means he is a member of the cult. Good thing there was another janitor aboard because Connor did not plan on doing any cleaning. He was too much of a rock star for that. He would rather ride his motorcycle around the station. Yeah, it had random seat ejection, but at least the bike was fast. Someone's making a mockery of their symbol, like having a country's flag tattooed to your asshole. Then Connor saw one of the other cultists in the custody of some union workers. He really couldn't do anything about it. Can't blow your cover, and construction site beatdowns hurt. Unrelated to any of this, him and the bartender both ran into Beepski and got knocked over. Yeah, slapstick. Anyways, he found another cultist, but he couldn't walk, so he was dragged. Yet another cultist showed up and gave the crippled chap a wheelchair. These sons of bitches already look sketchier than me doing a fan meet and greet on a boat. But this executor hauling around a guillotine in the dark potentially could be much more dangerous. This is why he was regulated. Connor then found a stick of stunning in the lost and found. The enchanted weapon actually belonged to the person they just converted to their cult known as Jehovah's Hypnotist. This new recruit took his poker back, grabbed the dagger, and ditched the two religion pushers. Someone was treating the air ducts like their personal toilet because shit was hitting the fan. Both teams suffered some mild stunning, and Connor got his hands on the captain's sword. While out by himself, he sliced up one of those guys that walk around with a tie on solely to look important. Then he went to a dark place to cut himself. Another member of the clergy confused Connor for a poser at first, but he apologized for the misunderstanding. This demigod over here built a lame table for poetry. He also crafted an easy bake oven that cooked shields. Of course the second base was discovered, and another raid was happening. A telekinetic Hulk fought the other cultists and took the battle off screen. While that would have been more interesting to watch, all you get to see is Connor hack up a boring test tube juggler. The horde of station defenders were relentless in their pursuit. One of them decided to suicide bomb Connor. This put an end to his run, thus exposing his poor cardio. Now he is fat as he is dead. Here's a brief look at two other dumbass cultists fucking up terribly. This bartender Nathan Gray was told to come take a look at something. Knowing damn well he's about to be attacked, he went anyways. The engineer set up an electric fence for him to walk into. Since that didn't happen, the guy went with plan B and threw Nathan into it, repeatedly, until he died. The other failure is a scientist named Lucas Hardy. This guy at least managed to capture someone. Since a person can only be converted with two cultists present, he had to teleport the guy elsewhere, though he did not know how to bring him. The cultist in training was still in the same spot, but they were a dead body now. So he stuffed him in the locker right before security rushed the scene. He remained cool and calm as he was shot multiple times. Lucas would still be alive if he got rid of his cult gear. Instead, he is drifting away in space. After a heart bypass surgery, liposuction, and replacing the leg he lost from the diabetes explosion, Connor had found his faith again and became a chaplain. As soon as his chapel opened up shop for the day, he had a customer. This man wanted to be launched out into space. Connor agreed to do it as long as he could cut off the man's leg. He wanted some form of payment before he sent the guy out on his flight. What a beautiful ceremony. I am always happy to see this tradition kept alive. He spent the evening at his favorite theater. Currently the play was about the life of Kurt Cobain. Also in his free time, he enjoys dressing up as a bandito and participating in gang-related activities. That meant he was the perfect candidate to join the revolution. He proved his worth to the cause by attacking government-appointed tough guys on sight. Next, he treated the detective's mouth like a vodka funnel. Then he lent a chainsaw hand in the decapitation of the chief medical officer. The punishment for these crimes were coming because while Connor was fiddling with the stolen revolver, he got knocked out by a security officer. Once he regained consciousness, he tried to make a run for it, but a fire-breathing dragon prevented that. The party was over, and so was the revolution. In the end, Connor signed the inevitable contract by selling out to death.